Elon Musk, currently one of the world's hated entrepreneur tech billionaires.
A hand gesture by billionaire Elon Musk during a speech at Donald Trump's inauguration is causing controversy, with some comparing it to a fascist salute.
For correctness, whether you believe that I have been diligent, that I have worked, that I have advocated for you in these years, that I have been decent.
And for what reason? Well, a lot. But what happened to the young Elon, who was thought by many to be a Da Vinci of our time?
People have called you the real Tony Stark.
People compare you to Tony Stark. Do you like it?
Neither here nor there.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
Okay,
go.
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
The innovator compared to great minds like Jobs, Hawkins, and Edison.
Say people like Bill Gates, Larry Ellison, Steve Jobs. These guys didn't graduate from college.
He's brought groundbreaking achievements such as the accessibility of electric cars, reusable rockets, and also Twitter, which I don't know a single person who calls it X. Regardless, Elon has been an inventor throughout his whole life. So what changed? How is he only known for things such as racial discrimination, having his cards sprayed with swastika logos due to, let's just say, weird gestures at Trump's inauguration, to also having alleged sexual misconduct with employees? This is the well-deserved downfall of modern history's dumbest billionaire. The real question is, what took so long?
I am become meme. Yeah, pretty much. I'm living the meme. It's like there's living the dream and there's living the meme, and it's pretty much what's happening, you know.
Go f yourself. Go f yourself.
I would say from the age of 3, I thought he was a genius. He would reason with me, and his reasoning was sensible. And how do you even do that when you don't really have much experience?
The controversy starts bringing up Elon's childhood, when Elon was born to Errol and May Musk in Pretoria, South Africa. He often had to work hard, as he was poor and came from an abusive household.
Suffered that kind of abuse?
Yes. Yeah. I think I was beaten up.
And Musk, well, he had his own problems. He was regularly getting picked on and even assaulted at school.
South Africa, when I was growing up, was just an inherently very violent place. I got punched in the face many times. I almost got beaten to death once.
4 or 5 guys, and they just started beating him senseless with their fists.
Although, he didn't let this stop him. This only motivated him. By the age of 12, he had sold his first software, which was an early take on Space Invaders. So you may think Elon Musk had a rough childhood, a kid who pulled his way through the abuse and struggles, but that may not be true, or at least half of it. Elon has repeatedly said he grew up with very little and had to pay his own way through college.
Well, that was the summer of '95. I had no money whatsoever, doing research in Silicon Valley on a completely different subject and trying to start this company at the same time. And it came time to decide, do I want to do graduate studies or do I want to start this company? And I decided to start the company. I had no money.
He's often framed his success as purely self-made, escaping hardship in South Africa. Elon has consistently downplayed his family's wealth, stating he grew up in a middle-class household and arrived in Canada in 1989 with minimal funds, around $2,500. He claims he worked odd jobs, like cleaning boilers, to fund his education at Queen's University and the University of Pennsylvania. Well, what about the emerald mine? Elon's dad wasn't poor by any means. He was actually quite the opposite. Errol actually had a part share in an emerald mine in Zambia. In response to claims about the emerald mine, Elon has called it a myth, denying that his own father even owned the mine and did not significantly contribute to his success.
An alleged diamond mine?
Diamond mine?
A mine that...
What diamond mine?
A mine that your father...
Yeah, my father never owned a diamond. So you're thinking of
emerald mine?
Yeah, I'd like to see a picture of this alleged emerald mine.
Because you've been community noted on that tweet.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No, but he never owned a emerald mine. This is total.
On X, he dismissed such stories as part of the narrative to paint him as a trust fund kid.
And has said many times he went $100K in debt to pay for his college and was flat broke when he started his first company.
Although, his dad admits that he does own a mine. In an old interview, Elon slips up and accidentally talks about the mine.
In South Africa, when I was growing up, my father had a private plane. We'd fly in incredibly dangerous weather and barely make it back. This is going to sound slightly crazy, but my father also had a share in an emerald mine in Zambia. I was 15 and really wanted to go with him, but didn't realize how dangerous it was. I couldn't find my passport, so I ended up grabbing my brother's, which turned out to be 6 months overdue. So we had this plane load of contraband and an overdue passport from another person. There were AK-47s all over the place, and I'm thinking, man, this could really go bad.
So maybe Elon isn't the kid who paved his way to success. Well, so what? He's still a billionaire and operates 2 companies. And I mean operate because Elon didn't even make Tesla. Despite that being one of his main successes, Tesla company was actually founded by 2 guys.
He wasn't the founder in the sense of he wasn't, we started it.
Well, I mean, this is one of the things that I found kind of fascinating about him is that he's actually accomplished some amazing things in his own right.
He's totally amazing.
Yeah, SpaceX is amazing, and he's done some interesting things with Tesla for sure. I'm not sure why he has to also say that he was a founder when he wasn't. I don't understand that.
Well, there's actually another company. It was through the use of exploiting the rise of the internet. Why? Because in 1995, Elon and his brother Kimball launched Zip2, a software company that basically put business directories and maps online. Basically like a digital yellow pages, or kind of like Apple Maps today. But Elon didn't code some brilliant invention. The backbone of Zip2 was built by hired developers. Elon wasn't even a CEO for long. The investors pushed him aside, telling him honestly get out of the way, saying he lacked business experience and wasn't fit for the job. Yet when the company sold Compaq in 1999 for $307 million, Elon did actually walk away with about $22 million. Then came X.com, which is honestly one of the most fascinating things for that time, so I have to give him props. But X.com was honestly chaotic. Employees said Elon ignored security concerns altogether, took reckless risks with user data, and constantly clashed with leadership. Eventually, X.com merged with another startup called Confinity. That company had something better, PayPal. And once again, Elon got sidelined, pushed to the side, and was essentially not needed at all. Basically the 15 man on the basketball roster. He was actually fired while on vacation, and then replaced by a name you may have heard of, Peter Thiel, but the name X.com was entirely scrapped. The whole idea honestly got scrapped. PayPal was where the money was gonna go. PayPal ended up taking over. Still, when PayPal sold to eBay in 2002 for about $1.5 billion, guess who got the biggest payday? Elon Musk. He got around $180 million, yet for not being even involved in the project at this point. Not because he built the best product, but because he was in the right place at the right time and knew how to spin a story. So before Tesla or SpaceX, Musk wasn't a genius inventor. He didn't really do anything too important. He was a ruthless opportunist, hitching onto smarter teams, spinning the narrative, walking away with the cash, and ultimately taking credit for everything. Because when you think of PayPal, you might honestly remember Elon Musk, yet he wasn't even involved. Takes credit, rewrites history, and buries the people who helped him. And this sets the tone for everything that transpires today. But the story does not end with PayPal. Like I was saying, the story goes on. After walking away with millions, Musk positioned himself as a tech genius, which we know is not true, but behind the scenes, the same ruthless pattern continued, only now with more power. At Tesla, workers started speaking out about Musk. Not just about the long hours or unrealistic deadlines, but about straight intimidation. When employees tried to unionize, Tesla reportedly spied on them, held illegal meetings, and even fired organizers. The National Relations Board ruled the company broke the law. Meanwhile, inside Tesla's Fremont factory, black employees were called racial slurs. There was also segregated work areas and threats. One called it straight up Jim Crow. Anyways, Tesla was sued. Then there was Starlink. Musk's satellite system became a lifeline for Ukraine during the Russian invasion. But when the Ukraine military planned a critical attack on Russian forces, Musk allegedly shut off Starlink. Completely shut it off, mid-operation. Then he later admitted to doing it out of fear of escalation, but critics called it something else. One man deciding foreign policy with no accountability whatsoever. It gets darker though. After acquiring Twitter, which formerly known as X now, but in my opinion it's still always going to be Twitter, Musk promised free speech, but instead he re-platformed with white nationalists, conspiracy theorists, and neo-Nazis. He's personally engaged with users spreading hate and even praised one who posted about a genocide rhetoric. Jewish groups like the ADL warned of a spike in anti-Semitism, but Musk responded by threatening to sue them. He's also shown growing alignment with Donald Trump. The man he once called not the right guy is now someone Musk defends and amplifies. He's restored Trump's Twitter account and engages with far-right influencers, and openly criticizes liberal voices as part of a woke mind virus. With honestly all politics aside, you can't deny that he's getting with very influential and political figures. Elon Musk built his legacy on the myth of the self-made genius, a lone visionary who rose from nothing to change the world. But sadly, that truth is more complex and far more calculated. From a privileged childhood, funded by emeralds, to startups where he seized credit and outstead founders, Musk's rise wasn't about innovation, it was about domination. He's fought unions, ignored safety warnings, and silenced critics. He's used his companies to shape geopolitics, shutting down military operations with a single decision, and with X, he's given extremists a megaphone, normalized hate under the banner of free speech, and aligned himself with figures pushing authoritarian agendas to simply control power. This isn't just the story of a tech mogul, it's the story of a man who rewrote his past, weaponized his platforms, and built an empire, not just on invention, but on control, manipulation, and myth. Elon Musk didn't just disrupt the system, he straight out manipulated it.